Hey everybody, this is Stormy with the capital Z. Welcome back to some more Gym Newbie League matches. Today we shall be covering up a game between Mava and Harlock. Mava from the Emperor's new A move versus Harlock, who comes from the team known as ChainNova. The matchup will be Undead versus Orc, and it will be played on Amazonia. Alright. Those new to the stream, I usually try to stream during this particular hour. You can follow me on my Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube channel if you guys are looking for any Warcraft 3 related content during this time. I also stream some other games like Age of Empires and stuff, but my plan currently is to stream more of this. We have the game coming in, and nothing much to go over until the game starts. Unpurging. It appears somebody is using Reforged for some reason. That usually increases the amount of time that the game takes to load. Alright then, our overlay is also up. This overlay is by W3booster.com, which provides an amazing overlay for people that play Warcraft and people who like to observe replays and stuff. It is a really handy tool for casters and stuff. And as we have the game started, Harlock has spawned on the top right location. He has spawned as the blue, or is it blue? Yep, it is blue orc on the top right. Mava spawning as the grey undead at the bottom left. Opening up with the Crypt first build order. The hero will be slightly delayed. Nothing too special to cover on the orc side either, as the orc goes for the pretty standard orc opening. There is no Voodoo Lounge setup as of yet, of course, because he went for the barracks. What hero is it gonna be? Most likely Blade Master. Although it would be interesting to see Farseer versus Undead. There we go, Blade Master coming in for Harlock. Ults are coming in, and the Undead choice is likely to be dead tonight. Going to be classic Orc versus classic Undead, as we have a Scout Peon making its way towards the enemy base. Going to go in there, check up the builds, check up the stuff that is up, and maybe check on the hero as well. You will notice immediately that this is a late hero that gives the opponent an advantage. A slight advantage would be that you can creep without being noticed, without being harassed by the undead player. Although when you're talking about Blade Master, the Blade Master is the harasser and not the guy that gets harassed. Blade Master out, going to go after... Which one is he gonna go after? I'm not sure. The Renegade Wizard? It appears he is. He's going to take out that Renegade Wizard, get the item from it, and then back out lightly. You got DK coming in from this side, having a little talk, a chat between the players as they see the Peon meeting up at the Undead player's base. A Fiend is out. The Fiend tried to go after that Peon, but it managed to go back to the base. Okay, it appears that Harlock will be creeping this entire camp. You can do that, of course, with the super powerful grunt over there. And okay, DK being picked up, Rod and Necromancy there. Voodoo Lounge is set up, and okay, he's not going to go and get any kind of healing just yet. He's going to go after this orange, I mean to say green camp as well, while the Undead player goes for the attack on this Goblin Merchant camp, gets the item from that Shadow Priest. And what's he gonna do now? Going to go after the Sasquatch, getting a few more Skeleton Warriors coming in. And this is the female Dead Knight with the purple lipstick. Each time I see it, it makes me want to question the intents of the developers that whoever made this. Okay, no item being picked up. Finally goes back to the base, gets the item. Not getting the full set, I guess. Got the scroll of healing and healing salves. Sold out the TP. Got himself a rings of protection. Not the best item, but not the worst either. While on the undead side, undead player actually got a wand of illusion. And you guys might be noticing a bit of spikes here. After the new patch, this has been, I don't know, I mean, this just has been the case. I'm not exactly sure about what is with these new spikes. As the Blade Master comes in, he's going to try and jack the undead player. What's he going to go after? He's going to go after the DK. DK is below 50% of the hit points, but can easily recover if he goes back to the base and gets himself the healing done. Tome of Agility being picked up by the Blade Master. That's not very good for the undead player. And Blade Master being agility type primarily. And I was about to mention that Unholy Aura not coming in just yet. Mava decided not to go for that for a moment, but then went in for that. Or maybe the player just took time to realize that level 2 is there and he needs to pick up the second spell. Now it appears that Mava is going to launch an assault over the Orc player's base. Blade Master intercepting, attacking those fiends, but they aren't going to do too. I mean, it's not going to be able to do too much over there, as the fiend has backed out. And here comes the grunts. Grunts are intercepting, going to go right after those fiends. Death Knight has about 2 death coils over there. Trying to block away that grunt. Is he gonna be able to do it? Nice micro play there by Mava. One fiend just died at the hands of that Blade Master, and I think I heard the wand. Yep, I did hear the wand. An illusionary fiend on the field, and this can actually confuse the hell out of the Orc player. And I don't know if the undead player plays this right, he can actually finish the game right away. Orc player goes after the illusion. Not good. During the time he's busy with the illusion, undead player gets time to attack the grunts, and these grunts are super heavy, and losing each of them will be super costly. Going after another. This fiend is kind of weak though, and it appears that Harlock finally managing to recognize which is real, which isn't, as the undead player backs out those units one by one. Here comes the Tauren Chieftain. Is the Tauren Chieftain gonna be the thing that saves the Blade Master, or rather the Orc player, from this particular situation? I guess it is. Going in there, and it shows the stomp, as we can see over here. Going to go right after those units. Stomp is going to be super useful. Stomp, there we go. Going to try and surround that fiend. Fiend surrounded, and it's going to be taken out rather easily. On the undead player, he goes after that. Still tries to save away that fiend, and he's released that fiend. That's not good. There are no. The undead player denied himself that fiend. Alright, no experience for the Orc player. Harlock going after that weak fiend over there. No mana on the Death Knight yet to heal away that fiend. Fiend is regenerating slightly using the Unholy Aura though. Going to get over the Blight, and that regeneration rate is going to increase. Blade Master is pretty low over there. Tauren Chieftain nearby. And it is time that the Orc player backs out lightly and lives to fight another day. On this side we got the Lich. Lich is ready. Frost Nova being picked up as the first spell. We got some attack upgrade for the Fiends coming in by the undead player. And a Slaughterhouse being dropped at the backside of the base. Beastery setup. Torn Totem setup. So it appears that the Orc player is choosing to go for the most standard form of Orc. Which, I mean, you could say the most classic form of Orc. With Spirit Walkers and Raiders, Grunts, perhaps a Kodo Beast on the field. The only variation to the whole standard thing would be the Tauren Chieftain, of course. Classic choice being Shadow Hunter. There goes the Tauren Chieftain into that army of creeps. While the undead player creeps away his expansion. Sorry, over there. This will be done sooner. And both players reaching level 3 on their main heroes. They want to get that level 3 like as soon as possible. Undead player will get the level 3 first. Orc player, I'm not exactly sure. We still got 3 creeps here, but we got 2 heroes soaking up the experience points. Maybe on our back out the Torrent Chieftain. In such a situation, I guess it's better to back out your first hero. I mean to say the second hero, and let the first hero soak up the experience, unless and until you're planning to do for a creep, sort of a creep marathon, if you know what I mean. But here comes the Orc player. Undead player has been intercepted while he went for the creeping at the Merc camp. Uh-oh, not looking good. Level 3 on the Death Knight. We got a Frost Nova. Uh-oh. That's a lot of lag going on. Oh no! Lich is surrounded. This is not looking good. Oh no! Bad decision making there by the Undead player. He chose to use the Death Coil, the last Death Coil he had for the time being, on a Fiend. And did not try to save the Lich. But then again, if you want to think about that whole situation once again, if you want to think about that whole situation again, what I'm trying to say is the Lich was super surrounded. I guess the Undead player said that, okay, there's no way the Lich is coming out of there. And right now, DK being surrounded as well. DK teeping back, but here comes the Blade Master. Blade Master windwalking. He's gonna go right in there, using Potion of Healing right in the nick of time, and he's still going to attack the Fiends though. Does not have enough mana for another coil. This Fiend may go down, but the Frost Tower to the rescue. Nerubian Tower coming into play, and Lich is back already. Whoa, that's a quick revive time for a level 1 hero. That's why they say it's not really a big deal if you lose a level 1 hero, and it appeared that the Undead player actually set up a sneaky expansion while we were busy covering up the fight. Here comes the first Spirit Walker into the battlefield, Spirit linking all those units up in. Lich is back, but is he back just to die once again as he's getting weak? Undead player does not have a lot of Fiends on the field. He's pulling in those ghouls, and those ghouls are currently... they're getting healed by that Obsidian Statue. Stomp by the Torrent Chieftain. Death Knight is weak. Death Knight is dead. Harlock doing phenomenal over here. And once the Death Knight is out, it's gonna be pretty difficult for the Undead player to defend again and kind of push, but maybe I spoke too soon as the Orc units are getting weak. You can see all of them at low red HP. Still, they're gonna stick around there, try to deal as much as damage as they can as they try to surround the Lich. Uh-oh! Ensnaring away the Lich. They still got one or two more ensnare in the bag. Maybe use that again. One Raider being taken out over there. Spirit Walker is weak. He can go into ethereal form. He does. No mana on the Lich to cast any kind of Nova yet, or any kind of Frost Armor. Okay, he went for Dark Ritual. I guess he could use the Dark Ritual, kill away those weak units, and get that essential mana to Frost Nova away the Orc units. That's exactly what he want to do. Frost Nova away, and that's exactly what he has done. Although without the Frost Nova, I would say Orc units are super weak. I would say like one Frost Nova can kill a number of these grunts. As the Orc player backs out, gets himself some healing salves, healing up those units one by one, buying them, rebuying them once again. He does have a Sentry Ward on the Torrent Chieftain. Maybe it would have been a better use if he just placed the Sentry Ward inside the Undead player's expansion. That would also give him vision on the Burrowed Fiend, so you want to use that. If you get these items, you want to use that. A lot of people make the mistake of not using that. There is a Ritual Dagger on the Death Knight, by the way, which is still dead. It's still being revived at the altar. Lich is going to creep out this camp without the DK. Gonna get some XP, getting to level 2.5. While the Orc player reaches the expansion of the Undead player, he's going to go right after those Acolytes and then try to destroy the Haunted Gold Mine. Okay, he's not going after the Acolytes, he's going right after the Haunted Gold Mine. He just wants to ransack that expansion. It is being repaired though, and it's probably gonna be unsummoned if the Undead army was not there yet. Here comes the DK. Stomp, nice stomp on a number of units over there. Ensnare, surrounding away that Fiend. Death Knight does not have any Death Coils or nice Frost Nova over those Orc units. One Raider being picked up. Two Grunts are pretty weak. You want to back them out at this point. I mean, you're keeping them into the fight, but at what cost? Okay, he just used his Sentry Wards. It is somewhere over there. Yeah, it is there. It's there. more units dying one by one. It's difficult to say who's going to take the lead over here. Although this is the Undead player's base, he has the advantage of home field. He's on the Blight. He has those ghouls coming in. He has skeleton warriors and stuff ready. But Orc player are going to try and surround the Death Knight. Death Knight is surrounded. Death Knight does not have any items to heal himself with. Blade Master is windwalking. Blade Master is going after that Death Knight. Death Knight is low. Frost Nova on the Blade Master. Stomp! But the Stomp did not connect with the Death Knight. Maybe it probably wasn't the intentional target, but damn as well should have been if he wanted to kill the Death Knight. But as we see the item over here, the Death Knight did have a ritual dagger which he could have used on one of the skeleton warriors over there and recovered like 125 HP. It's not too much, but it can do the job and can be a savior for you in many situations over there. What do we have here? Why? Okay, it appears that he's killing a few of his own spirit walkers. He does not want them on the field for whatever reason. Now training a few berserkers, raiders. Okay, he wants to stay below 50 food, it appears, as the Undead player is also staying below 50 food. But here's the scenario right now. Undead player has an expansion, Orc player does not. And so far, Undead player has managed to repel any kind of push that the Orc player has managed to muster up. Now the thing is, even if the Orc player manages to come and ransack one of the bases, or rather just the expansion, Undead player is going to have a ton of gold on his side. He's already getting some new buildings and stuff. That is a sacrificial pit. He's going to get a shade coming in. And he may go in for a frost worm. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, although he does have the 70 food supply now. He was down at 50 just a few moments ago. Here comes the Orc army. The Banshee is on the field, and currently it's a 48 army versus 47. They are evenly matched. It will come down to who can fight this battle better, who can do the microing better. As the Orc player tries to surround those undead units, having some spikes over here. It's hard to see who's getting ahead as those units are being taken out one by one. Frost Nova, deadly Frost Nova on those Orc units, getting weak as the time passes by. Should back out those grunts. He needs to do that. He needs to back out those grunts, and he does see this, by the way. He sees this burrowed fiend. He's not attacking it just yet. He's just stalling time and making the Undead player feel safe rather with that. And well, that fiend took some time to get killed. They have the same armor, right, when they go underground? I don't think they get any armor upgrade. I mean, at least I haven't heard of anything such. Here comes the Orc army going after the Temple of the Damned. Banshee would be out though right before they complete. Have they researched the no, they haven't researched the adapt training for Banshees. A lot of dark ritual being used there by the undead, getting the mana back into the Lich. More opportunities for Frost Novas, and Frost Novas is exactly what he needs. A shade is on the field. The Blade Master's windwalking will be less effective. An Abomination on the field. No attack upgrades for it just yet, as Undead player spent more on attack upgrades for Fiends. Grunts are falling one by one. So far, this has been a great fight. And Boneyard it is. It's gonna be a Boneyard. Undead player has set up the Boneyard, and he's gonna be training some Frost Novas pretty soon, or at least one Frost Nova. Orc player, I don't think he has knowledge of this Boneyard as of yet, but he should be prepared for anything, literally. If you're against Undead, and the Undead player already has an expansion which he is not willing to give away, you gotta be ready for stuff like that. Throne Chieftain Nearling level 3, Blade Master Nearling level 4, and a good camp to pick up. Although counter expanding is a good idea, I guess. I was about to say maybe going for the green camp would have been a quicker option. But he's also going to get some gold and items from this camp, so let's see what he gets. He gets a big mana potion, nice potion over there, and passes is the way to the Tauren Chieftain. Those storms are going to be super useful. And we have Stomp level 2, we got Endurance level 1, Windwalk level 2, Critical Hit level 2, of course, because of the double level 4. And Orc player trying to intercept. Undead player is in a pretty bad situation here. Crypt Lord spiking away those units. And those golems, man. Those golems are deadly. One more Stomp going off. And oh man, the Death Knight. Death Knight is surrounded using Potion of Invulnerability. Is there one on the Torrent Chieftain? Yes, there is. Torrent Chieftain are gonna use that Potion of Invulnerability. It's Potion of Invulnerability down for the Death Knight. Death Knight forced to use the TP. And before it TPs out, they're gonna try and take out 1 or 2 Orc units, which they do not successfully manage to do so. Okay. And is there anything in the belly of the Kodo? There's nothing in the belly of the Kodo. You get the Kodo bees, you want to eliminate 1 unit. Although it gives the enemy player vision of your Kodo. Maybe just put it away around, like, I don't know, near your base. Outside your base, something like that. That would be useful. So, Undead player currently has broken upkeep with the stuff that he's made. Abominations, Banshee. 1 Banshee is there. His 3rd hero. The Frostworms, of course. Well, just 1 Frostworm, I would say. I mean, 1 Frostworm cost you like 7 food, so there's less chance that you're gonna go for a second one, unless and until you want to break upkeep for the second time. Currently, Undead player sitting at 64 food, Orc player has 48, and I don't really see the Orc player winning against this kind of an army. And there goes the GG. Game goes to Mava, and the first game in this series goes to the Emperor's new A move. That was a great game. So it's gonna be a loser's pick. I'm gonna quickly head to the chat inside Gym, and we're gonna look into what games are gonna be the next one. Mava chose to veto CH, which is Concealed Hill. The choice of map pool will be for Harlock. Alright, the map has been selected by Harlock. It is going to be Echo Isle. One of the most classic maps. Did they say gym? I guess they said gym. I need to check that. No, they said GNL. It's gonna be GNL 2. There we go. Alright then, let's do this. This is going to be game number 2 between Harlock of ChainNova versus Mava of the Emperor's new A move. A part of the Gym Newbie League, of course. Matchup is going to be played on Echo Isle, and it is a Undead versus Orc. Matchup has begun. We got Mava spawning as the Grey Undead at the left hand side of this map. Harlock spawning as Blue Orc on the right hand side. And I guess we can update the scores using Warcraft 3 booster. No, wait a second, that's wrong. No, that's right. I'm not sure what you said. Okay, they just said GL, and that was it. So yeah, this is Orc versus Undead on Echo Isle. Last game was pretty classic. The only deviation we had early on would be the Torrent Chieftain, and then the late game of for the undead player switched into Banshees with Frost Runes and stuff, which was cool. Undead player this time not going for Crypt first, he went for the altar. It appears that undead player wants to get in some levels, or he may even choose to go for some harassment. Either one would work out. Altar is almost up. Blade Master coming in for Orc, and undead player gonna go with Death Knight. Pretty classic. 2 more relics being dropped at the backside of the base. Wanna keep it safe. Wanna keep it safe from the Orc army that can radio base, and also want to keep your acolytes protected, if you know what I mean. Scout Peon heading in. Hello, Mr. Peon. Blade Master is ready. Going to go immediately after this green camp. Is he gonna go for all 3 of them? Is a question. And Peon is back, just to die, I guess. Nope. Undead player will not go after the Peon, will not waste valuable time. Grunt is out, and no, he's just going to get the item. Claws of attack +6, winning. That's a good item for the Orc player. Voodoo launch will be ready in a moment, and no, he is actually going to go for the other weaker creeps on this particular camp as well. And whoa, it appears to me like the undead player is going for a super early expansion using sacrificial skull, and DK did sell off his TP. You gotta be super careful when you go for a game like this. And Orc players, like, this is why you want to scout and stuff. And as soon as the sacrificial skull is already used in this area, he uses the acolyte to plant in that cigarette. He's not even waiting for the creeps to die. He's not waiting for anything, and oh, here comes the Scout Peon. The plan is rather not foiled yet, but the Orc player does have enough intel to know that an expansion is indeed coming up, and he definitely needs to do something about that, as he have the 2nd and 3rd burrow coming in. They're gonna be up pretty soon. No war mill just yet though.
Players' forces are under attack.
Ziggurat will be ready in a moment. And once that Ziggurat transformed into the Nerubian Tower, it's gonna be super difficult for the Orc player to take out that expansion. If you want to take it out, do it early. Getting that Circlet of Nobility on that Blade Master, it is a pretty classic item. You definitely want to go and buy that during the first night. Here comes the Blade Master. Well, rather the Grunt goes in first. Going to go after the Haunted Goldmine. Haunted Goldmine cancelled, and now they're going to try and attack the Acolyte. Acolyte just stalling their time at this particular point. And by the way, Acolytes are faster this time. That's why this Acolyte is moving pretty fast. And well, it just stayed over there. It stayed over there. It did its creepy laughter, girlish creepy laughter, and then it just died. That's what happened. Orc player going from the other side of the woods over there, and oh, that actually did manage to confuse the undead player in that regards. He's gonna go in once again, and the Nerubian Tower is up. It's gonna be pretty difficult to completely destroy that Nerubian Tower, but one thing that the Orc player is doing pretty well in this whole scenario would be that he is stopping the undead player from taking the expansion, like completing the expansion. Uh-oh, that Grunt is pretty weak. You want to save that Grunt. You don't want to lose a Grunt early on in the game. Scroll speed. That's what we want. That's what we want. Scroll speed being used. And second Grunt to replace that one coming in. Going to go after the under construction Haunted Goldmine once again. Haunting will not be complete for the Goldmine. And the under player tried to invest in this expansion will not be able to take any kind of advantage of that. And going into tier 2 for over here. Orc player taking out those skeleton warriors. That's giving him some teensy beansy bits of experience, but in the long run, those are going to be pretty good for him. Ghouls being pulled in. One more skeleton warrior being... Okay, that was not skeleton warrior, that was a ghoul over there. This grunt will definitely bite death, but it appears that the Blade Master killed the grunt. The Blade Master denied the experience to the Death Knight, and once again the gold mine is being haunted, and this time the orc player will choose to go back to the base as he does not have enough mana to go for another fight. Is he gonna stay in? No, probably not. Shadowhunter is on the field buying himself some nice healing salves. Beastery ready, Torn Totem coming in. It's gonna be pretty classic orc versus, so far, classic undead, I guess you could say. Fiends coming in for the undead player. Your Hall of Dead is nearly ready. A Tomb of Relics being dropped in the expansion, and what do we have here? Yeah, that's a bug, by the way, that sends your mouse flying. They said that they fixed it, but they actually didn't. Okay, now it appears to me that the orc player, acknowledging the fact that he cannot take out the expansion, but he managed to halt it for as long as he did. He went for an expansion for himself. That's a great idea if you ask me. Counter expansion and get that extra gold, break upkeep, get as many units as the undead did, and that's how you want to win against undead players. Now I would say that undead player is making a mistake here by not dropping in more ziggurats. He definitely wants to drop in a ziggurat. By now one ziggurat would at least have been complete, if not transformed into a spirit tower or a Nerubian tower, because you want to have more of those if you are trying to defend an expansion, while this haunted gold mine is cancelled. And what's he gonna do now? He does have enough units to take out that ziggurat, or rather spirit tower, or rather Nerubian tower. And going to go after the Aqualiot, while this expansion by the orc player is being attacked by a skeleton warrior. That gave away the orc player's expansion though. Expansion attempt not maybe foiled, as the undead player has enough units, and while he manages to kill that grunt, he may push in towards the expansion with the army that he has right now, that comprises of a few ghouls, the Death Knight of course, the Lich is also ready, and a bunch of skeleton warriors, you could say. Here comes the orc army, reinforced with raiders and spirit walkers. Spiritling being used. There goes a nice ensnare. Death coil to save that lich, but is it gonna be enough? No, it's not gonna be enough, as that fiend bites the dust. Hex being used on the Death Knight. Death Knight is low on mana. It has enough in the tank for one more death coil, and uses that. Getting to level 3, that increases your mana supply a bit. Getting near to one more death coil. Gonna have to be really super careful in this scenario though, as he is nearing the undead player's army, but gonna go after the skeleton warriors. Now this is one of the things that the undead players do take advantage of, while your opponent is busy trying to focus on skeleton warriors, which by the way undead player left behind himself. You can go in for a surprise attack while you attempted to try and kind of save yourself. And oh, that grunt died at the fault of his own units, but one fiend being killed over there on the backside as well. Hex being used, and a second fiend being taken out at the hands of that Blade Master. Healing wave being used. Grunt should back out right now. He doesn't want to lose too many grunts over there. Death coil saving away that ghoul, but he definitely wanted to save stuff like fiends over there. Anyways, something's better than nothing. Lich is on the field, and he does have enough in the tank for one more Frost Nova. Ghouls falling one by one. Oh, nice Frost Nova over there, taking out the Raider and the Ethereal Spirit Walker at the same time. Super. Orc player forced to retreat back to the base, and all that he could save from that fight was that one grunt and one raider. I mean, the things that he evacuated on time. The others that he tried to evacuate, like one grunt, one raider, one spirit walker, all three of them did just die to two of them died to Frost Nova, and one of them died to his own raider because his own raider blocked his path. Skeleton warrior approaching, gonna be picked up rather easily, and Now these are decisions that you want to question. Do you really want to use a ensnare on a skeleton warrior unless and until it's gonna be super annoying or something, or unless and until you want to stop it from having the extra vision? It was about to time out just in a moment, but like, is the ensnare cooldown really as valuable as the experience or something that you're hiding? Which in this case, Harlock wasn't even hiding anything, and he's taking damage on that raider. He should take damage on the grunt. Raiders have medium armor, grunts have heavy, and grunts do have more HP than the raiders, so you want to take damage on the grunts if you want to tank up with your units. Keeping the Blademaster ways, creeping away with the Shadow Hunter. Want to pick up the Potion of Invulnerability, exactly, maybe some Scroll of Healing. He does have enough gold for that. Nothing, he didn't pick up anything. He's just going to use healing waves to save himself. Currently at 36. No, wait a second. Orc is at 50 food. Undead player is at 36.
A player's forces are under attack.
Killing a few Murlocs here. Although he was killing with the Death Knight as well. If you want to level up your Lich, which you definitely want to do, you just want to creep without your Death Knight. Or player gonna go after this marketplace camp. Not too many interesting items here except for the Sentry Ward. Sentry Ward can be super useful at many a times. Alright, he already has one actually in the inventory, and also got a Scroll of Beast. That's going to be super useful later on. Orc player has broken upkeep. He does have an expansion, he can afford to do that. 6th burrow, nope, no 6th burrow yet. Probably want to do that. If you're breaking upkeep, you probably want to do that. Get up till 80, at least get up till 70. But breaking upkeep just to get up till 60, I wouldn't say that's the most beneficial thing you can do. Spirit Tower is up at the expansion, and the player cowering out goes toward the it's the Orc player cowering out, goes towards the Undead player's army, and Lich is surrounded. Not super surrounded, has one way out, but gets taken out by the Hexed Death Knight. That is so bad. Hexed Death Knight blocked its way, and this poor fiend got taken out before it could burrow in completely. He did have the Sentry Ward. He could have used that to have vision of that. Currently, Harlock sitting at 58 supply against 45 food of the Undead. And when I say 45, I mean this doesn't really look like 45. That is just DK with 3 fiends. What can 3 fiends do? Sacrificial pit being set up. He's gonna call in a few of those nice little shades. Those are gonna be super useful. Harlock going in for the kill, dealing super damage on those fiends. Nice TP being used there, but it's gonna be late, man. You already lost like 2 fiends over there, and going after that altar now. Good decision making by Harlock. Altar is down. Lich is no longer revivable using the old-fashioned method. The only way you can revive your Lich before setting up an altar is going towards the tavern and paying a hefty amount, and also getting a 50% less HP. 50% damage Lich from that too. Trying to ensnare away that knight. Going after those weak units, the frontal units of the Undead Army. Skeleton Warrior schools are being taken out one by one. Kodobeast has not eaten up anything just yet, but it can do that. So practically it's really difficult for the Undead player to survive this push. He's still gonna stay in there. He's still gonna try and do something. He hasn't set up altar. He's not even trying to set up an altar at his expansion. He's rather busy trying to save his base. An altar being set up towards the outer end of the base, but that's really not the best thing you can do. If anything, you want to set up the altar at the expansion, and the Death Knight bites the dust. This is game, and GG by Mava. What an awesome series so far, guys. So the currently standing is 1-1. And it's gonna be loser's pick first. Somebody's got a, I mean to say, the winner got a veto the map. Yeah, he's got a veto the map. Alright, tiebreaker coming in just in a moment. Game name is gonna be Gym 3. Oh hey Halfling, I'm not playing. I'm streaming a game. Where's Harlock? Halfling says, even as observers, you are playing humans with Archmage. I guess you're right. Yeah, I gotta tell them personally. They're very good people. Stop what? For the guys confused, we're having a chat here. Oh right, I can actually enable the chat on this. Let me do that actually. As we have the game starting in. I don't want to alt tab right now. Alright, it's gonna be Twisted Meadows. And this is the tiebreaker. Now, where's my chat? Chat. Oh, I'm not even using the right one. Wow. This is the right one. There we go. Now we have the stuff appearing. Wow. So I recorded 2 games without having the overlays on. Silly me. Alright guys, let's talk about the game now. Currently the series is 1:1. We have an Orc vs Undead on Twisted Meadows. This is the tiebreaker. We got Harlock from Team ChainNova spawning as the Blue Orc at the 7 o'clock. He will be playing up against Mava from the Emperor's new A move, spawning as the Grey Undead at the 4 o'clock. This is going to be the tiebreaker, as both of the players are going to be super tensed over here. Blade Master coming in for the Orc, Death Knight for the Undead. So far they played on a 1v1 map. The first one was Amazonia, second one was Echo Isle. This is Twisted Meadows, although they are on one side of the map. This is a rather bigger map in comparison. Rod and Necromancy. And both players did send out the scouts, villagers of the respective Races to the enemy's base. They know what's up. Blade Master is out. Going to go right after those Null Wardens. They will be rather easy to take out. Now the big question is he gonna go after the Overseer? Probably not. Oh, Death Coil! The Death Coil projectile did not reach in time. Experience still went to the Blade Master. But what did get on time was the Rod of Necromancy, which he used to spawn away those skeleton warriors. He can get 2 more from the corpse over there, but he chooses not to as the cooldown is done on the rod. And oh, that poor peon. And whoa, it appears that Mawa is showing some remorse. He's not going to go after the peon. He's not going to kill the peon. Going after green camps, Mawa wants to play super safe. Blade Master sold off the TP, bought the Orc starter set, Healing Salves, and Scroll of Speed. Harlock is back at that Null camp. He's gonna finish the job. Thankfully, he got experience from all 3 of the units, and he didn't even lose any kind of items. He didn't lose any of his own units in that fight. Going towards that shop, getting himself a second circlet. On a map like this, you can actually go towards the other shop as well and get a 3rd circlet. Or rather, another circlet is what I'm trying to say. And if they're creeping the same exact camp on his side of the map, he will be done creeping this particular camp. Thankfully, Halfling says, thankfully you're cheering on Orc. Yes, I'm cheering on the Orc. I just have a thing for the undeads. I don't want undeads to win. I'm biased, that's why. Okay? Corrupt of Vitality, alright. I was gonna give the Blade Master 150 more HP. Gotta be careful with the grunts. Don't want to get them killed to the ogres, which are already in bloodlust, by the way. Tier 2, nearing completion on both sides. Orc player will be done first. And Mawa opting to go for some long distance creeping. He's going way ahead, and what does he have? He doesn't really have anything much. He's actually going to try and creep out this expansion. Now, I'm not exactly sure whether you can do this as an undead player, as I'm not one myself. But I guess you can, maybe, getting enough number of skeleton warriors. The problem right now is that you don't have any mana on the DK, and if you're spotted, like, you're gonna be in a really bad situation, especially with having a fiend like this with low HP. Mawa loves to go for expansions. He's going for tier 3, I mean to say tier 2, and also going for expansion. Oh, that fiend is super weak! The worst thing that could happen to Mawa right now is the Orc player detecting this expansion at the 1 o'clock. And we'll try to jack him over there. And oh, it appears that Harlock is setting up an expansion for himself over here. Both players are unaware of their respective expansions. The only thing is that most likely Harlock will check out this particular camp here for an expansion, but okay, he did check out that camp and he is going towards the upper location, but he chooses to go towards the Goblin Merchant camp here. And once again, I'm not sure whether you can actually take out this particular creep camp using the number of units you have, but he's gonna try that anyway. Another player is nearby, and if either of the players find each other, like the one being jacked is gonna be in a pretty bad situation, as those grunts are super weak. Here comes the fiend over here. No, he did not detect it. He did not detect the Orc player creeping, and oh, he's gonna see it now! Not looking good for the Orc player. Orc player has 2 weak grunts over there. Uh-oh. Demon Hunter, I mean to say, Death Knight is in. A Death Coil. Death Coil on the Ogre Mauler, and that's just Ogre Warrior, sorry. Managed to get the jack on that, but forced to TP back since the HP on the Death Knight was pretty low. Chose to TP back. Harlock forced the TP on the Undead player by trying to focus down the Death Knight. He did it in time, and Now, it would have been a better choice for Harlock if he went for Hex as the first spell. If he went for Hex, the Death Knight could have been hexed. He could have attacked the Death Knight and I don't know, maybe even tried to kill it over there, because the Death Knight was already pretty low. Force TP would not have gone off. He may have lost a few units in that particular fight because the grunts were super weak. Now he's level 3 on the Blade Master. Now these are the decisions that I do want to say that I'm not agreeing with. You want to creep solo with your Shadowhunter at this point. You want the experience to go to your second hero, because currently he gets to level 2. You want him to at level 3 like real soon. And over here we're having the same scenario as the Undead player is also creeping with his Death Knight and Lich. Rock Golem camps are pretty tricky to take out, and if you're jacked, well, you're in a really tight situation. Belt of Giant, an item that you need to keep. Does not permanently increase your stats.
A player's forces are under attack.
Halfling says, yes, getting to level 3 is core for every hero. Yes, I do agree with that, or rather you agreed with me. And once again, creeping with both heroes over here. You're soaking up a lot of experience on the Blade Master. Now, there are two sides to this, of course. One is that you're getting a lot of experience for the Blade Master as well. You're gonna get the Blade Master to level 4, and what's better than a level 3 Blade Master? A level 4 Blade Master, of course, and he's using Reveal at a rather questionable location. Maybe, I don't know. He's using Reveal at a rather questionable location. I would rather try to look up at Halfling says a level 10 Blade Master. I'd agree to that. 2 Blade Masters, of course. Uh-oh, expansion being spotted by the Undead player. Orc player trying to intercept with the Blade Master, and here come the raiders ensnaring away those fiends. Should be careful going after the fiends, trying to surround it. Hex on that Death Knight, and that fiend will bite the dust. Another fiend being taken out. That comes the saving coil. Fiend is burrowed. Does he have dust? He doesn't have dust. It's gonna be difficult for him to fight without dust in this scenario. Undead player using a scroll of protection. Uh-oh. This is not looking good for Harlock. Undead player currently at 48 food, and Orc player is at 41. Undead player has advantage of burrowing down his units. And Orc player is currently getting his army low. Like, the army is falling. He's backing them out. A Frost Nova, a well-planted Frost Nova can actually kill a number of these units over here. And the Skeleton Warrior actually follows the pursuit. Sometimes good to just let it off and maybe die over there. And Undead player is back at the expansion. Undead player breaking upkeep as well. Orc player is at 47. Here comes the Pit Lord. Third hero is on the field. And the third one is super tanky, I'd say. Okay, he's choosing to TP, which I would say is... He definitely had the advantage. He had triple hero. He had a number of fiends, but... I guess he just wanted to be super careful. He just wanted to go back to the base and make sure that he can actually seal the deal, but... I would say I would still... I mean, if I were on the Undead player's place, I would still try to deal some more damage to the peons. Maybe try to take all of them out, and then use a TP while having the Pit Lord tank up most of the damage. Level 4 on the Death Knight. We're gonna have level 2 Unholy Aura, which is superior to level 1, of course. And as you can see, the Pit Lord is actually taking a lot of damage here, and you want to kill that. A second expansion? Okay, the Undead player definitely wants to seal the deal over here. Is the Orc player gonna do the same thing? I don't think so. Orc player is happy with that one expansion, and uh-oh, he may spot this expansion up here. He may be just going in there for some creeping, but oh no, he's turning direction. He wants to go for the red camp. This expansion is still undetected. Expansion is undetected. Undead player expansion survives. Orc player goes for the rather risky red camp. And why is he backing out? Okay, he is backing out. He is backing out because of the Undead player's interception. Uh-oh. Pitlord surrounded. Pitlord can be healed though. Hex on the Death Knight. Pitlord about to die. Coil! Right in the nick of time. But the second coil will not be there to save the Pitlord. That's a good amount of experience for the Orc. Going after the Fiends one by one. Uh-oh. Abomination is low. There is no mana on the Death Knight. No more coils. Abomination being taken out. The Fiends will die very, very easily to this army. Dust of Appearance. TP. Harlock still does not have knowledge of this expansion. Halfling says 0 focus fire from Mawa. I would agree. Mawa was the one that intercepted. He should have been the one that had the upper hand, but that's not the case. We have double armor upgrade on the Orc units, while the Undead player has single armor and single attack upgrades for the ranged units, which are the Fiends. Undead player goes for some creeping for himself here, and you want to get the Lich to level 3, man. This is the questionable decisions I was talking about. Now, Lich is not going to be level 3 even after this creep camp over here. Did he lose a unit? I'm getting report by the chat that he actually lost a unit here to the creeps. I'm not sure about that. Maybe the pressure is getting to Mawa. This is of course the tiebreaker. Undead player currently sitting at 66 food of an army against the Orc player's 57. And he's now now going for his natural rather. Not the Undead. You mean the Orc? I'm not sure, man.
A player's forces are under attack.
Shadowhunter nearing level 4, and that's gonna be giving him Hex level 2, which is rather better than Hex level 1, of course. And he used a Torrent Shamans. You mean to say the Spirit Walker Halfling? Halfling has detected death of a Spirit Walker. To creeps, I guess. Okay, there is a shade on the field, which makes the Windwalk less effective. Blade Master will be visible during fights. And the Shadowhunter, like, at this point, just creep this place out and get him to level... Just get him to level 4. And, whoa, I would say get your Blade Master to level 5 as well, because a level 5 Blade Master is rather super scary. We're just gonna cover up the items just in a bit as both of the armies are about to meet. Both of the armies are about to meet. Blade Master currently has 2 circlets, Orb of Lightning, Dust of Appearance, Perupt of Vitality, and Rune Bracer, which is an awesome set. Not the best for a agility type hero, but it is an awesome set for any generic hero. The abominations are surrounded and ensnared. Healing wave being cast by the Orc player. Disenchant. It's, abomination loss. Abomination being eaten up. Fiends being taken out one by one. Ensnare. Heal. Orc units are weak. He needs focus fire. Undead needs focus fire. Lich does have Dark Ritual. He's not using them though. But the Undead units fall first. And you don't have enough Orc units. I mean, you don't have enough Undead units to take out these many enemy units. And Pitlord falling low. Pitlord taken out. Is the Lich next? No mana. Okay, he has one coil. Coil is not in time. He raised his hand for it, but wasn't on time. Managed to kill a grunt from that. Level 5 on the Blade Master, level 4 on the Shadow Hunter. Lich being revived, but it's really difficult to say like what's gonna happen now. The thing about the Undead player right now is that he has 2 expansions, which means that he has like a 30 gold income at this particular point of time. He's getting a Froststorm as well at the base. Orc player probably doesn't have any knowledge. And what the hell? Are you kidding me? A 3rd expansion? What are you playing? StarCraft? Come on, Mama. This isn't StarCraft. This isn't even funny anymore. You lose 1 expansion, you try to defend that, and Orc player doesn't have knowledge of 2 more expansions. Come on. And he's just casually unsummoning the expansion because he can definitely afford it. What are you gonna do with all that gold? Are you gonna play like StarCraft Age of Empires? You only got like up to 100 that you can make. Okay, we got abominations coming in. I don't know. We may definitely have a second Froststorm coming in as well. And there is no Temple of the Dam. Maybe you wanna set that up as well since you have like 2 expansions. I mean, what are you gonna do with all that gold? Currently, Mawa is super rich. Yeah, he wants to monopole. Orc player getting back to his base. He's going to rejuvenate his units, casting away those healing salves, and he does have a tiny Great Hall on the Shadow Hunter, just in case he decides to play StarCraft as well. I guess he is going to play StarCraft, as he is heading towards the natural of the Undead player. An Acolyte is standing over there though. And whoa, Torrent with like 3 armor upgrades and 1 attack upgrade. I mean, this Torrent is beefy as hell. And oh no, this is not good. Acolyte was not detected, and this Acolyte is gonna give away this expansion detection to the Undead player. Orc player, what would have been rather better for him to go towards the inner side, kill the Acolyte first, and then set up the expansion. This way, if the Undead player never chose to go back to that place, he wouldn't come to know about it. And this is why some colors are just bad. It's really difficult to see the Undead player's army, and the only reason you can see his expansions really well is because he is an Undead player and there's blight on the map. And you're creeping with the Death Knight, I guess. Sure, why not, since it's about to hit level 5. You want to get level 5 on the Death Knight, of course, at this point. And expansion is being rebuilt over here. Super greedy. Or rather, super distractive. Because each time the Orc player comes back here to try and destroy the expansion, he's gonna be in a false sense of security. Orc player will be in a false sense of security that he has the expansion ransacked, and I believe the main gold mines are about to run out. So Orc player has no knowledge of this and this expansion. So unless until he gets there, he's not gonna have knowledge of that. And you wanna back out the Blade Master, man. You're stealing away the experience from the Shadow Hunter now. Level 5 Blade Master. You wanna back it out. And you wanna back out this Death Knight here. You wanna back it out. You're stealing, you're hogging up the experience, and it's not even getting experience. Alright. Pitlord actually has a potion of invulnerability. That's not lesser invulnerability, that is just invulnerability. That gives you 15 seconds of Divine Shield, which is a great item for the Pitlord, which is a tank for this particular scenario. Both players are just clearing the map of creeps right now, and whoa, we got a second Froststorm on the field, and at this point they're just creeping out everything they can find. They're just salvaging everything they can, and it appears to me like Harlock finally detected this expansion. Mava will be forced to come back over here. Halfling just pointed out that all 3 Undead heroes actually have the potion of lesser invulnerabilities. And Orc player is in a tight spot here. He TP back in, but he's in a super tight spot. He can't use the TP again. This is not looking good for the Orc player. He's surrounded. Frostworms are just owning over there. All he has left are the torrents, and they are also going to fall one by one. GG by Harlock. The expansions won this game for Mava. So this series ends and the series goes to the Emperor's new A move. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying by. I tend to stream around this particular time, and later on we're gonna have 3 more games, or rather another series is what I'm trying to say, between let me check up their names. It's going to be between Nova versus Ungerade. Okay, Nova versus Ungerade.